to the Better at Beach podcast. My name is Mark Burke, and I'm here with Brandon Joyner. We are going to talk about the best big tournaments to play for amateurs and open players. We've had quite a few tournaments that we've gone to, so we're going to do a little run through of which ones are the most fun and pros and cons of all of the different ones. So that's where
Can
we
you
are at today.
can you see me?
No.
Hmm.
So while Brandon signs off, signs back in, and figures out his audio and video situation, I am going to take us through just a few of the camps that we have coming up. So we have May 2nd in Austin, Texas. JM Plummer and Allie are going to be going through that. So head down to ATX Beach in Austin and support the new facility. May 16th, we've got an intermediate camp for all adults in Santa Monica. May 23rd in St. Pete, men's intermediate. That means like probably BNA level. Uh, so men's intermediate, we only have 10 spots for that. That's in St. Pete at my Airbnb. And if you do sign up for that and you want to get a room accommodations, just send me a message separately at Mark Burrick on Instagram. May 30th, one of our most fun camps all year long is going to be in Long Island, Long Beach, New York. San Diego, May 30th is sold out. June 6th in Tacoma is June 20th in Virginia Beach, June 27th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, July 18th in Des Moines, Iowa with Iowa Impact Volleyball Club. We're excited for that one. New location, great relationship. And in Bend, Oregon, the Seaside Tournament tune up. That's 2 weeks before the big Seaside Tournament. We are going to be in Bend, Oregon with our good friend Colton Nail. And August 1st in Santa Rosa. And of course, Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, November 29th to December 5th. So if you guys want to come and hang out at an all inclusive event, all the volleyball you can handle, that is going to be in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic in the fall. And we've got more things coming up. So if you are not on our email list, just head to any of the links that you see or any of the links under this video or podcast, and you could sign up for our email list where we'll send you a bunch of tips and ways to train and play. And we've also got a bunch of cool stuff. Our second round of things coming up in Hermosa. So, Brandon, what do we got going on in the South Bay in Los Angeles? And if people are visiting, how do they get involved if they're not a local?
Yeah. If you're visiting, shoot us an email first, support@betteratbeach.com, or head to our website, betteratbeach.com/Hermosa. There we go on the screen. And yeah, so if you're visiting, we have a lot of like drop-in options. We have the ability for you to we have small group classes that happen weekly. Those can be found on our app. The app's called BAB Hermosa. And if you go to betterbeach.com/Hermosa, this is the website. We also have our Kings and Queens League starting up. So next week is our final week of the first session. We are starting our next session the week following that, right into the next session. We had a canceled week in our first session, which got rid of our little break. But so we're hopping right in, and I believe that starts May 12th and goes until June 23rd. So that will be our next 7-week King and Queens League. We also have our 6-week morning training block. So we just started that this morning. I got off the beach at 9 o'clock, meeting up with them. And we just started. So we're still taking registrations up until I think the end of this week, maybe next week. So if you want to be a part of 6 weeks of training, right now I think it's 14 people at the intermediate level. And we just go through weekly focuses. This week is passing, next week will be setting, take them through a lot of drills, give them a lot of fixes, and just improve our skill. Yeah, and then we also have that's Hermosa. So if we have local classes that happen weekly, those can be seen on this little widget that we got here. This is pretty much what our app looks like. It's just embedded into our website. And we also have some events coming up in Santa Monica. So Santa Monica at the Annenberg House, volleyball courts right there. This coming Sunday, we have a passing and setting clinic from 9 to 11 or 9 to 12. Sorry. And then the following weekend, keep going down. We'll come back to that one in a second. We have our attacking mini clinic on May 11th. Okay, so 2 Sundays back to back, 2 different skills. And then finally rounding out our LA County tour, we have our Redondo Beach section where we're having a little kids class. We've had kids classes in the past. When we went through the transition of moving all of our stuff to the pier, we had to drop our kids class, but we found a home in Redondo Beach. So every Sunday from 10 to noon, little 2-hour block now, we will be running a kids class for the month of May. And so we have one of our favorite coaches, Ian Satterfield, super smiley guy. He will be running our kids program for the month of May in Redondo Beach. And I can't think of a better person to be, or just kind of make some kids smile and have a good time and learn how to play the sport. So should be fun.
What's the age groups for that?
We're kind of saying like 7 to 13, 7 to 12. It's going to be a lot of learning. So I would say most of the kids that are coming from our past programs are in like the 9-10 range, and they have been with us for a while, so they understand how the sport works. So not completely beginners, but we have some kids that are beginners. They have a great time. The way we run our practices is it's not like gameplay. It's a lot of like rep stuff and like fundamental organization as far as like how do you learn to use your body in an athletic way. So it's a volleyball class, but it's not like, hey, go play 2-on-2. It's
gross athletic skills.
Yeah,
in a volleyball environment.
Motor movements in a volleyball in a volleyball setting. So yeah, I think if you're in that age range, whether you've played before or not, I think it'll be a valuable experience. And if you're wondering if you fit or not, just shoot us an email, support@betteratbeach.com, and we'll be honest with you.
Yeah. All right. My Google is talking to me. Shut
Nice.
it.
Lucky.
Shut it, please. We've got to survive the AI takeover.
Yeah.
So use your manners.
Gotta be kind.
All right. Best tournaments. Most fun tournaments.
Yeah.
There are so many. And I guess we should just go top to bottom. Like what's the absolute best, absolute most fun?
Yeah. Before we do that, I wouldn't mind just a quick touch on what's going on in the AVP.
All right, cool.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah,
so we had our second league qualifier this past Saturday. Crazy weather, raining, windy. I was gonna go down, didn't go down. Luckily, Logan and Hagen have already qualified, so I dodged a bullet there. But on the men's side, we got a new entrance into the league of Kame Schalk and James Shaw, who have been dominating on. I mean, they've just been doing really well on the world tour scene. And I watched the majority of their matches. They made it look effortless. They are a solid team. They made it look really good. With James's serve, Kame's experience, and physicality, they look great. And then on the women's side, we have Julia Scholes and Lexi Denenberg. So
when they came out,
two big guns.
These are some big guns.
Yeah.
This can be fun to watch. There's a few of the ladies on tour, and I say this as a compliment, so I'll bring on the cancellation, but they hit like dudes. they can absolutely crank. There's another one. So I want to see a fours team built on. I would like to see Kelly Clays, Lexi Dennenberg, Julia Scholes, and Megan Rice on a women's fours team,
Yeah.
just all hammering. And I would think they would do destructive things just because they can jump, they can hit, they're physical. It's like really fun to watch them power some balls.
Yeah, I agree. That's going to be a fun team. I know. I bet Julia's probably going through. I mean, because she was in the Olympic race as a full-time blocker. So having to convince herself to like give defense a try, it's always fun in reality, like when you're like at practice and you're getting digs and you're winning points and stuff like that. You show up to a couple tournaments and maybe you're not getting as many digs as you hoped you would, and then you're like, should I just be up at the net every time? I know that's what I went through. She's a lot better than me as far as the sport goes. So maybe she's not going through that, but yeah, I think it's an exciting team, especially in the league format. They're going to be playing on shallow sand. They're going to be getting up. They're going to be bouncing balls. I think it'd be cool.
If you had to give a blanket statement to any defender that needs to play blocker now, and then any blocker that needs to play defender, blanket statement for advice for them to simplify and be the best at their position without knowing anything else about them, like, what would your main keys be?
Man, that's I maybe should have asked you before I switched to being defender so that I had this sentence, but I think for blocking, a lot of it is lineup. Like I would say concentrate on your lineup. Like I think this is something that happens a lot to us. Like I was an indoor player that switched to beach. So like lineups happened automatically for so long that when I moved out into the beach, it became something that I was looking for. But I think sometimes like there's a tricky balance of people like being too wide, like they're blocking line and they're just hanging out by the pin. And so like I would say concentrate on your lineup first and then take away your area of the court. That would be my one blanket statement for blocking, I guess. And defense, I would say, especially starting off games, get to your spot and hold your spot. Like trust whatever the block call is. Allow people to see you. Like don't worry about hiding and getting all tricky. Like we have to figure out, one, are they looking at you first? And so like when I was in Virginia Beach, I played with this guy, his name's Sean Bays. He's a 6'9" guy. He was more of an indoor player, but like whenever we were blocking, I was like, he was one of the bigger guys out that we played with. And so I was like, if he says that he's doing line and if they hit cross, I have to touch it. Like I'm not gonna that's the battle I want to play first, is like my spot, any ball that gets hit in there, I don't care if I get it up, but I'm at least going to touch everything. Wow. And then I was able to start thinking about like trickery and like, okay, I'm going to set you up for this and take this and all that stuff. But the first thing was like, get to my spot and accept that responsibility. Nice. I'm curious what yours are, because I feel like that was really long-winded. So stick with me. But
defensively, I would say the exact same. I would say, go to your spot. Don't mess around. Don't worry that somebody else sees you. I mean, I'm still struggling to get that through a couple of the pros' heads, where it's like, yo, if you promise this, do it and dig it before you give the other team any credit of shots or if they're seeing you. Like the goal is not to have the hitter not know where you are. It's to, if we're running a juke, it's to make them think you're definitely taking one spot. And there's a huge difference there between the people who sit middle and then flash into a spot. They're trying to think, I don't want them to know where I am. And that's the wrong way to juke. because a juke is meant to be a fake, letting them know that you're in one place and then reappearing in the other. So when you sit middle and then flash into another zone, there is a time for that. I'm not saying that like you should never do that in no situation, but the goal is show them that I am here. Now, what do they do? And then if you figure out what they do, knowing that you're there, that allows you to then do the bait and switch type stuff. But if a blocker's moving to defender, the amount of detail, timing work, understanding the eye rhythm of the hitter, and then timing your moves with that takes so much film work and one-on-one work that if you just need to play this weekend, do a line block, sit in the diagonal, hold. Like that's it. That would be my blanket statement. And I think we're probably going to say the same thing, but just slightly different in different ways with the blockers. I think you should be one-on-one against hitters and just trying to understand not what you're taking up, but what they're doing. So if you can learn how to watch the hitter, see what they're about to do, and then attempt to take that, I think that's the best way to start, because if you do that and then your defender is also doing that, you have two people reading where this person is trying to go. And the chance that you're both totally incorrect is pretty low, I would say. But if you're more focused with, I need to protect the line instead of getting your body on top of where this person is going, then you're going to end up too far out of the way. Reading as a blocker is so huge, like, and it's bigger and better than positional blocking. Even if you're like a huge blocker and you're totally in somebody's face and you're taking a little bit of line and a little bit of cross, that means that they've got these little tiny slivers of hard balls that they can hit, as opposed to you take full line. Now they've got a football field of diagonal to hit into. Like, that's an easy decision for a hitter, but hitting the two small spaces just outside you because you took the meat of the court, that puts a bit more pressure on the attacker.
Yeah. Alex and I, when my last year, like qualifying, Alex and I used to play like little mini games within matches where each point was worth up to 3 points. And if the blocker got a touch, that was a mini point. If the defender got a touch, that was a mini point. And then if we scored the point, that was another mini point. And so it was like, it was kind of fun because one, like both of us we were right around the same height, like 6'4", 6'5", which is big for defenders, but we were undersized as blockers. And so we couldn't really rely on this like basic 1, 2, 3, 4 defense. We had to use our like volleyball IQ a lot more. And so when we got away from running these basic 1s and 2s, and we still had our basic system, we would still show what we're doing. But then the blocker was allowed to change what they were doing based on what they read. And so it was like, it allowed us, like, once we kind of got that idea, it was never an apology of like, all my equipment's going down. It was never an apology of like, oh, sorry for touching that. It was like, oh, like, nice job. You read it. Like, good stuff. So yeah, cool. But just a fun little game if you're at home.
Witness protection now.
Yeah. You know, I save my teeth. I just gotta get real close.
Okay. And now to the main topic, now that we're 20 minutes into this.
Yeah. Sorry, we get away from ourselves. But this one can be easy, it's fun, it's quick.
Yeah. Best tournament by far. I think my favorite tournament experience had to be FUDS.
Oh yeah, they just finished.
They wrapped it up. It's 4s. It's also 2s. There's 5 4 or 5 days of different events at different levels because you got co-ed doubles, you got regular gender doubles, and then you also have the fours event, which is the big one. But it's 4-on-4. It's fun. The party is just everywhere. You're living in the party. They have a different bar each night that they go to leading up to it. It's a full day commitment. Like if you've ever been on a bachelor party or a bachelorette party where you know that you've got to wake up at like 8 a.m. and you might have to start drinking at that time. Like it's a commitment, but also I participated in that style, but there's also a huge family feel.
Oh yeah.
It because there's like this section of players that are just going for it in terms of the party scene. But then there's this huge family feel where they're out there and they're just hanging out on the beach and there's like a really good family environment. So that's one of the tournaments where you can go as both people and enjoy either scene. I think cruise ships are kind of like that. You can go there for the relaxing chill and touring cities, or you could go on a cruise ship and just decide to forget you're a human for a little while.
Yeah. I've only been on one cruise and it was with you and we forgot we were humans.
Yeah.
It was
Great
great
time.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those cool tournaments that you get both. And that would be different than I want to say, because the next like big fours tournament that I think is absolutely awesome is Smackfest. And I would choose, I think I would choose Smackfest over Six Man.
Ooh. I'm against you on that one.
All right.
Six man. It's I can't do without it.
Wow.
I think I had to choose like 2 years ago whether I went to Six Man or Smackfest, and I chose Six Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like the
it's nationally iconic.
Yeah. Love Shellback.
Yep.
Really, it's the hanging out in the bar during the day. Smackfest, you just hang out in tents and on the beach. But both are great. If they're not on the same weekend, I'm playing both for sure.
Yeah. It is a tough call. I do like fours.
True.
Over 6-on-6, but like Manhattan Six Man, there's one, if you guys have never been to it, there's one bar called Shellbacks. You have to walk straight uphill for about 50 yards in order to get there. And that's just where, as soon as you're done playing, that's like where the entire team ejects to. And then most often, a third of the team knows that you have your next match, and 2/3 of the team, like you need to send the people who are on the beach knowing that you have the match. You have to send one messenger to go back to Shellbacks and be like, "Hey, Tuxedo Gang," or whatever the name of your team is.
Because there's also no service in Manhattan ever. So like you can't check your phones. It's a beautiful, beautiful, chaotic moment. Yeah. I think that's what I like about it the most.
Having to go back to Shellbacks and recruit all of your team back.
Yeah, I hate a plan. You know, I love it when a plan falls apart, but then all of a sudden it comes back together. Like that's my kind of life. I love it.
And that's also a cool event because you get so many indoor players and like high level college players, sometimes national team members that are out there playing sixes. And so you see a version of volleyball that you're not quite used to seeing if you're a 2-on-2 or a 4-on-4 player. Like you see what volleyball, a little hint of what it could look like indoor. So it's fun to bring out those different athletes that are never on the beach for that one event.
I think it's like the day every year where like every like up and coming AVP players, like, I hope none of these guys actually stay on the beach. Like if half the team members of Lions Stall decided to play beach volleyball, the top 20 would turn into the top 40 real quick. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
So
but amazing. Yeah.
Both of those have costumes, like 6-on-6. Yeah, the whole team shows up in some sort of theme. You got unicorns, you got wrestlers,
speedwalkers.
There's And at six, Manhattan Six Man, there is way more smack talk and team environment because you might have a team of 30
Yeah.
where 6 people are playing, and after every single point, your 30 people rush the court, point and flex at the other team, and do some immaculate celebration.
It's amazing.
So the hype there is definitely more hype at Six Man because when you sign up for Smackfest, I think you would max out at like 8 people on your team, and you actually know that 5 of them might play at any given time. But sixes, yeah, your job is to recruit numbers, which is crazy. And then usually there's like a lot of sponsors for the teams, like a company will sponsor them and give you, in my experience, give you a pretty nice bar tab to callbacks or the other bar across the street. The rich one.
I always forget it. Yeah.
It's above our pay grade.
Every time I've gotten in there, they're like, "Why are you in here, man? Put some shoes on."
Like, shoes.
I'm like, "Come on, dude. I thought this was Shellback."
Yeah, and Smackfest is great, but it doesn't feel like there's a home bar there. And like at night it just kind of gets scattered. But I do like Shellbacks. And if you want like a Division One mate seeking weekend, aside from indoor nationals where everybody is 6'6" and above, when you walk into Shellbacks as a 6'3" or 6'4" person, you feel small.
Oh yeah.
just crazy. Have you ever gone into like another convention or like large group where a bunch of people congregate and you're like, oh my God, at 6'3", I'm a monster compared to the average human because I'm so used to being in these places where everybody's same height or taller than me.
Right. I mean, pretty much anytime I go home, like when I'm in Virginia a lot, even Virginia Beach, everyone's like, "Wait, you're undersized as a blocker?" And I'm like, undersized might be like being generous. Yeah. But yeah, out here in California, when I walk around, I'm like, I'm just the same height as everybody. But I also felt like that when we were at Mason. It was kind of funny because like I think one of the years we had a huge roster, or like my whole time there, like height wise. Like one of the years, the only people on the team that were shorter than me were Eric Lucas, Joe Norton, and Daniel Marushka. And it was like everybody else. We had like an 18-person roster, and I was 4th. I was like, all right,
Mason alumni 6-man team. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we got to do alumni weekend next year.
Back to tournaments. The one that I do want to just bring everybody's attention to that people outside of California, I don't think they know about it. I went twice as a young man, and it used to be the Estero tournament, but now it's in Rosarito. So then they started calling it Esterito, and I think they've finally called it the Rosarito tournament, but it's a blind draw tournament where you go down to Mexico. It's about 45 minutes south of the border, and you sign up, and they try to match your level based on what they know about you or your CBVA or AVP rating. So they'll give a pro player somebody who can play the game so that they're actually having fun, but it's not really quite there. Then they'll match up like A and AA, Bs with Bs. They'll never have somebody who's totally horrible or inexperienced with somebody who's awesome. So you always get somewhat of a match, but the whole goal of that tournament is not win.
Not to win.
It's another one that it's for the party.
Yeah. No, I agree. I've never been to that one, but I've heard amazing things.
You should definitely go.
Yeah, I know. I think like once I get the volleyball, I think this year I'm taking an off year. And then next year I'm back on the fun volley grind. I'm going on I'm taking the Bab circus to like FUDs. I'm going back to FUDs. I'm going the Dino. The Dino's on my list as far as tournaments that we have to talk about. It's in Kauai, Hawaii. It's a dinosaur tournament. So what that means for this event is your age has to add up to 80 years old. And so Mark, you and we're getting close.
Yeah.
It's sad to say
3
that
more
out
years?
loud. It's sad to say that out loud, yes. But
4 more years.
yeah,
to play.
we're pretty close in that set. But it's amazing. It's a very laid back tournament. If you're going there to play volleyball, not your tournament. If you're going there to hang around a bunch of really cool people and play when your name gets called, I think it's on four volleyball nets. There's a women's tournament, there's a men's tournament, and you're just like hanging out. It's a true double elimination, and it's just like big court side out. Any like let's say I'm playing on a team where the age is 80 and Mark's on a team that has 84. Mark would start up 1-0 and he gets to serve. So like there's like little quips in there to like make it even. And I think I've gone 3 times now. The best I've done is gone 2-2, and it's still one of my favorite tournaments I've ever played. So just take that as it is.
There's like immaculate hikes and giant canyons that you can drive around the island. So
yes,
it's
one of the prettiest places on the planet.
There's also the older division, so you can sign up.
Hundreds.
So there's 3 different tournaments within it. So your total age can add up to 80. That's one division. Your total age can add up to 100. That's the older division. And there's a father-son division. So you can play 3 separate tournaments inside of that tournament. Because you can compete for the hundreds and the 80s. You can enter both if you want. And you can also be in the father-son event. So I think Sean Cook played with his dad, and I think they only played the father-son, but they could have played way more matches if they wanted to enter all the other ones.
Right. Yeah. So fun tournament. Rolling right along. One of my next ones, we have already talked about it a little bit because we're doing a little prep clinic, but Seaside. I think Seaside is fantastic. You're not going for the nightlife. You're going for the day volleyball experience. One of my favorite things, it's like I have a couple of these moments that I like having like a little memory bank of my volleyball career. But one of my memories is I went up there with Jake Urrutia for my first time. I played once there with you, but Jake and I think we got a 5th, and we got to play on stadium court like 3 times. And the way they do stadium court there is they don't bring in bleachers. They bring in like bulldozers, and they make these big sand berms like around the court, and people just go and place their chairs. And it's one of the coolest things because that area, like they just love volleyball. So when you go to that event, you don't have a whole lot of like trash talking from fans. It's just celebrating good points. And and I think that makes it really special because like you truly do see the best versions of athletes because everyone's just hyping them up the whole time. Like if you get aced once, like they're cheering for the server. They're not like, "Oh, Brandon, you suck at passing." And then if I go up and I side out the next time, they're like, "Yeah, way to get it back!" Like it's so cool. I think it's fun. So I like Seaside.
And it's the one weekend up in the Pacific Northwest. There's a couple like Pacific Northwest tournaments. Seaside, everybody from Seattle, Oregon, Washington, they're like that's their weekend. That is their weekend. They look forward to it. They plan all of their training and tournaments, and how they measure the success of their year based on that tournament. And big family vibe. Yeah, not a huge nightlife.
I don't even know if they have bars.
Yeah, they might not. But that's the only reason. I don't know. So they have the widest, flattest beach there is, and I think it's the largest beach volleyball tournament we have in the U.S. I think the only one that might hold a candle to the size of that would be Bibbione in Italy, which is one that is on my bucket list. Haven't been to that. Really want to go to that.
I'll twist my arm.
But yeah, on the outer courts there, it feels like lonely because it's usually a gray day because you're in Seaside, Oregon, and it's a pain to get to. Like the
It is,
nearest
yeah.
airport is like an hour and a half away at least.
Mm-hmm.
The drive is the best drives. Like you get
It's beautiful.
all the wood forest up there, plus the cliffs. So I would
Mhm.
say for a road trip, that would be my number one place for the drive to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But it just sucks getting there for flights because it's so expensive and they jack up the hotel prices.
It is a little pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every other weekend, it's like $90 a night, and that weekend
Mhm.
it's 400.
Yeah, but worth the experience. I got a couple other beach shout outs, and this can be just real quick little one-liners, and then we'll finish off with some grass. Just quick little mentions. I know we got to go. East Coast throwing out Myrtle Beach Open. That is a weekend. I don't think a lot of people talk about it, but Adam Roberts, Myrtle Beach mayor, we'll call him, puts on a fantastic event. He's been growing it for like the last 12 years, I think 15 years. I think he's won it every year. But it's really fun. He puts on a fantastic, he understands like the social aspect of beach volleyball. So not only is it a fun tournament, but then the extracurriculars are there and fun. And then another one, throwing it out to my hometown, one of my first big tournament wins that I got is ECSC, East Coast Surf Championships in Virginia Beach. It's partnered with a surf competition. So they have like huge, obviously a surf competition. There's like dirt bike jumping competition. I don't know what those are called. Skate, like half pipes, kind of a bunch of skating. It's just a wild weekend, bunch of people on the boardwalk, and lots of fans, and usually a pretty good purse. So, yeah, those are my three little shout outs.
I can't let beach go without shouting out Michelle O'Neill in Long Island,
Yeah, we got to get
Long
there.
Beach, New York. That is a growing tournament. It used to be like a collection of 10, 15 teams, and now it's getting massive to the level of Manhattan Six Man. So that's a good one in the fall. And the big shots. I've always had fun at the
I
Atlantic
think
City Big
it's
Shots.
done. I don't even know if they run it anymore.
I know, it's so sad.
Yeah, I know.
But there's a good rhythm to the day and to
Yeah.
the night where everybody ends up at the same casinos, the same bars, and the same places. Plus, it's the end of the season, so it's like that time when all of the rivals turn into all of a sudden like now we're all friends. You know,
Mhm.
it's very chill
And when
it's
you
super
party in a place as dirty as Atlantic City, you let your wild side out. Like you just have fun. And wild card mentioned the Montauk Invitational run by Chris Vaughn.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not sure
haven't
where he
heard of this
runs.
one.
I'm not sure where he runs it, but Montauk Beer sponsors it, and I think he just gets a bunch of people to sign up, and he randomly puts people on teams of 4, and they have a great time. Any event that he's running is probably a blast. So kind of funny.
Right. And then the last two grass shout outs that we know about. There are a few other like really successful grass tournaments. But I can't mention them, just haven't been on them because I know there's one that's run in Chattanooga that's really successful. Susquehanna Smash in Pennsylvania
What's
is
it?
a really big one that people love in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. But Pottstown Rumble has always been
Got to be up there.
just like the best people who run it. You know,
Yeah.
it's such a family vibe. There's a little bit of party atmosphere, but the tournament's like generally too grueling
Mhm.
to allow for that because it's big court, grass, side out scoring. It's a lot of volleyball. One match can last 2 hours. It's the best family vibe that there is, like small town America in a massive tournament. So big shout out to the Koss family and Josh Farman and everybody who runs it over there and has kept it alive in such a small town where
Mhm.
Pottstown benefits from all these people coming in for this one weekend, and that's still growing, and that's got a lot of history for us because we're like Northeast players as well. So it's a place where our friends collect and hang out.
Yeah. And then
Wapaka.
last one is Wapaka. Yeah. Triples,
Worst
I think.
to get to.
Yeah. It's rough. Appleton.
Oh, yeah. Appleton Airport
Interesting flight.
or Chicago Airport.
Yeah. Or Milwaukee, I think.
And then many people bring out their campers. So
Yeah.
like I've never gotten to do it, but to get a camper, go to the camping place where there's it's just a nonstop party there. That's a big party place. And the Midwest treats that as their kind of like our Pottstown. It's their indoor and volleyball player reunion where everybody from within the surrounding 10 hours gathers for one weekend. It's at a barn. There's a giant barn where there's a party at night, and plus the campgrounds where everybody camps out. Some people bring like a large plastic bag and call that a tent and sleep in it, but still have just as much fun as everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's grass and 3-on-3 grass and 2-on-2 sand volleyball, where sometimes you end up playing on dirt more than sand, depending on how big the tournament is and what it is. But it's on a farmland in the middle of seemingly nowhere.
It's a pretty cool little site.
Farmland for it.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I've always wondered if they bought that farmland just for the tournament, because I know it's a wedding venue as well.
Yeah.
With the barn, but like at some point, do you get a tournament that becomes so big and so legendary, and you go,
"Oh man, yeah."
Yeah.
The amount of courts, the amount of courts that they had. Like, it's funny because I went there one year and I played in the sand when the AVP was running stuff there, and then I went to try to find some of my friends the next day that were playing in the grass, and they were like, "We're on court 41." And the first court I walked up to was court 317. And I was like, how am I gonna find this? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, if you imagine, like, this is a huge open field, but it's one of the coolest sights ever because like you look out and it's just like nets. And it's like, especially when people start playing, not only is it nets, but it's just the volleyball is going up in the air, bouncing. It's just, it's like a little volleyball haven.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there are more and many more places that you guys in this volleyball journey make a plan, fill out a bucket list, hit them all so that you live the volleyball life. I've still got Bibioni for sure on my list, and the Van Open in Canada, which I hear is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't played that one either. Yeah. If we missed any, put them in the comments or leave us some reviews. I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll see us there.
Yeah. Also, guys, if you're watching on YouTube or you see any of our YouTube videos, if you want to get some BAB swag, some shirts, support our channel, and represent a little bit, get some volleyball gear, just look under the video. We have a collection of shirts that's just a couple clicks away, and they'll get shipped to your house. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can click right into there, or anytime you're checking out one of our YouTube videos and you enjoy listening to this, it'd be awesome if you're not coming to a camp or you're not coming to any of our classes or events, and you still want to support and represent and get some volleyball gear, just click below the YouTube videos and you'll see a selection. And we are about to like quintuple the selection of designs that we have there, and then it should be shipped right to you. So
our results aren't conclusive, but we ran a little study and we found that if you wear a Better at Beach article of clothing in your tournament, you're more likely to win. We haven't published anything yet. It's not like completely accurate, but our initial findings look pretty promising.
According to the study we made for this video. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Logan Weber wears Better at Beach shorts and he qualifies for the league. So.
First time. Yeah, I don't know. There's some people call it science, some people call it coincidence. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's still out. Jury's still out.
Well, I'm going to work with our online members. We are in the second week of our passing block. So we got 5 weeks of getting our 300 online members to increase their level of passing. And if you guys want to take part in that, check out the links around the video or the podcast, and we will help you upgrade your skills too.
Yeah.
That's it. Got to run.
I love it. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Huntington AVP in 2 weekends. Last chance to qualify for the league. See you guys down there.
All right. See you on the sand.